We are Team Exigency, and this semester we worked with the University of Michigan Libraries Design and Discovery team, working to evaluate the library's online search tool specifically relating to the catalog search option, which includes books and other print material available at the library and online. This semester, our goals were to identify usability barriers in design, performance, search indexing, and information architecture of the catalog search tool. The library search tool can be found on the university's main library page by clicking on the search bar and searching using any keywords. From there, multiple options generate for you to choose from in order to find your desired resources. More specifically, the tool is a searchable database that houses all resources accessible by the university's library system. Users can use the search tool to find articles, books, catalogs, and so on that might be helpful for research, courses, and collecting knowledge. This database is accessible by all U of M affiliates. Our primary users were faculty and GSIs of the university. However, in many cases, these individuals proved difficult to recruit, so we also included PhD students in the pool. As often, PhD students end up serving as GSIs in courses and are likely to use the search tool because they need it for adding resources or references in their research. To understand the search tool and our goals, we first conducted a stakeholder interview and developed an interaction map. This allowed us to understand the ideal and other possible ways a user can go through the site, as well as understand our focus for this semester. We then conducted initial user interviews, which is a series of individual interviews conducted with target users to understand how they use the platform, their personal characteristics, and other platforms they tend to use. These interviews helped us develop personas and scenarios, which are archetypal representations of current users that describe user goals, behaviors, pain points, challenges, and successes. Personas are helpful to understand your users and what they will want most from your product. Other methods used throughout the semester also include surveys, which are listings of questions, mostly in close-ended formats, to obtain quantitative information about user demographics, usage, and other platforms used, and general behaviors. We developed the survey that analyzed the data to develop findings and recommendations. We also conducted a comparative analysis that consisted of selecting other competitors in the same field and rating their products' features in comparison to the library search tool features. We selected competitors including the Ann Arbor Library System, Michigan eCatalog, NYU Library Search, etc. Heuristic evaluation, which utilized Nielsen's heuristics, a set of criteria determined by Nielsen's research to find obvious and non-obvious errors in the library searches interface. These heuristics include criteria around consistency, error prevention, recognition over recall, etc. And usability tests that include developing a set of tasks for users to go through and observing them as they try to complete the tasks. Users are asked to think out loud as they complete the task in order for the observers to understand the motivations behind their behaviors as well as the reasons behind completing a task in a certain way. We conducted these tests by developing tasks that were mentioned or observed in previous interviews. All the 4 interviewees enunciated that they were not satisfied with the search results on the UM library search page when looking for an unknown item and used Google Scholar first. A direct quote from one of the interviews simply says that the results were frustrating. Our survey results show that 56% of the users need to look through at least 2 to 3 pages in order to get to the content they want or quit the search unsatisfied. Search relevance also ranked the lowest in the features that worked well for users. Getting relevant search results and relevant information on the search records seemed to be the biggest usability barrier. Only 42% of respondents reported being able to find everything they look for using catalogs. On the records page, it is most important to emphasize relevancy of the records to the term searched as well as the basic information about the record with the number of citations. All the 4 interviewees enunciated that they're not satisfied with the search results on the U of M search page when looking for an unknown item and use Google search first. A direct quote from one of the interviews simply says that the results are frustrating. Our survey shows that 56% of users need to look through at least 2 to 3 pages in order to get to the content that they want, or quit the search unsatisfied. Search relevance also ranked the lowest in the features that work well for users. Getting relevant search results and relevant information on the records seem to be the biggest usability barrier. Only 42% of respondents reported being able to find everything that they looked for using catalogs. On the records page, it is important to emphasize relevancy of the records to the term searched as well as the basic information about the record with the number of citations. Our group rated the flexibility and efficiency of use heuristic with an average of 3.25. Searching across multiple pages to find relevant information and experimenting with filters and different search terms is time consuming. Although the system does allow efficient searches using hotkeys, there is little information available to the user on how these hotkeys can be used. Here's an example of a misunderstood search term. Here, the user intends to search for black holes, as in a massive death star in terms of physics, while the library system provides search results relating to holes in shoes. Instead of having a how to search offered as an article, utilizing a hints feature that pops up to let users know when they should be performing a specific action, or hints that tell new users how to search could be useful. When multiple listings are mentioned for one search result, they should be ordered according to the ease of convenience. A listing with call number would get more preference and would be at the top. Providing a Google-esque auto-form-like feature to reuse previously searched for advanced searches would save on time. The UFM library could optimize the records with relevant information such as a smaller summary, number of citations, ratings and reviews, and links to similar and related articles or books. We suggest adding ways for users to recognize the resources that are most well received, perhaps by adding a way for users to like or check the number of citations so users can see if a resource is more popular. It may be helpful to users if there was a memory feature that showed users where they'd already visited before, such as how Google would change the link's colors that have been visited. An image of a book cover, first page of the article, etc. could be added to the records. This would help visually recognize the right version one's looking for. Ability to make and share book lists could be extremely resourceful. Faculty members could share and view other members' curated list and save on search time. Providing some metric to measure the quality or acclaim of the book or paper could also help users find relevant search results quickly. Reviews by fellow faculty members would also be helpful. Students could check professors' opinions on papers or books, and these could in turn inspire further discussions. Around 80% of the audience feels that advanced search is very useful to them, but according to the survey answers, advanced search is one of the least used features. Advanced search interface focuses more on Boolean search. Filter feature of the advanced search catalog was rated the highest in terms of usefulness of the audience. Filters can be subdivided even more according to the relevance of that specific category. They should be at the top of the search bar. More catalog-specific filters are needed. Our recommendations are to make the advanced search easier to see, perhaps through a more centered, larger action item button. Shorten the lists in the advanced search, as the long response option can cause fatigue and frustration for users. Visual inconsistencies across features often cause confusion. Conceptually, everything includes catalogs, articles, and databases, and thus can be considered the parent tab. Placing everything alongside catalogs and articles often led users to treat these tabs as siblings and wonder why filters that were available in catalogs and articles were not available under everything. The favorites and accounts page being starkly different from the search page led to participants being confused and unable to tell where they were in the system. Participants struggled to navigate back to their original search from the favorites page and ended up starting fresh each time. Tagging and removing favorites was challenging. Feedback from the website about the completion of these actions was poor. We recommend utilizing a uniform look and feel across accounts, search, and favorite pages, along with using consistent naming conventions. None of our participants were able to cite a book. Most participants expected a citation option to be present in the search results page. Participants would often scan through the record detail page and still fail to find a citation button. The action buttons on the top of the page made little sense to the participants. A simple citation feature akin to Google Scholar could be created. All the 3 citation tools could be grouped under a Cite button. It would also be useful to have a brief description of how to use the Toro, EndNote, and RIS pop out when one hovers over these specific tools. During our course of study, we interviewed and conducted tests on users who were familiar with the library website as well as people who rarely use the website. We found that users who use the library frequently have preferences, biases, and a habitual way of working. We conducted our heuristic evaluation and usability tests using Nielsen's heuristics. The other evaluation methods are Wickens heuristics and Schneiderman's 8 golden rules. Laptops were used as primary devices for conducting interview tests and usability tests. We find that the other devices the library could look into are mobiles and tablets, as many users rely on mobile devices to work on their daily activities.